That's good. We like Three Peaks here. Here on Shouting Over the News, the weekly news show from the Shouting Over Static Video Game Show and Tell podcast. I'm your host for the week, Mark, coming in with this sneaky intro. How you doing, Jack?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. It's the weather's picking up a bit. It's quite warm in my room, but I do have my fan set on low, so I hope it doesn't like interfere too much. I don't think you can hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Yeah, brilliant. But yeah, no, I'm
we had a bit of a funny spell at the beginning of the week, didn't we, with the weather? Like it got a bit cool for a second, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah,
and it seems to be picking back up again.
Yeah, like we have when was it that it just completely absolutely poured down? It was over the weekend, wasn't it? And then we sort of had like a bit of a breath of fresh air, and it wasn't that humid. And now it's just sort of come back. I don't know, like we haven't. Yeah, I guess like I can't really beg for rain again, but like we haven't had any kind of miserable weather in like 3 or 4 days, and now it's sort of picking up again.
Oh, we needed the rain though. Like It was 9 weeks without rain, and the air was just getting so like when the world is just aching for rain, and the air gets like hot and humid and sticky and like staticky, but it just stayed like that for weeks.
Yeah, especially
and then when
it
finally rained, it was just like sweet release. Oh, it was so good.
Especially like now that we're both like basically adults and we have to work jobs in offices, and my office isn't actually like too greatly air conditioned, so.
Oh, that's killer. Yeah, so mine actually has pretty decent air conditioning. That's because it's quite a new building. Eventually, I will end up having to do a summer in this job in an older building, because that's where most of my usual work is done.
Oh, no way.
And that's going to be bad. Yeah, that's going to get really rough. But yeah, at the moment, I'm in an air-conditioned building, so it's just like a cool 20 degrees all day or something. It's fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, there are like places at my work that you can like walk off to, and it's got air conditioning, like a little panel on the wall, and you can just like every morning I just go there, turn it down to like 20 degrees, and then let it cool itself down. And then if I'm sat at my desk and I'm like really warm, I'm just like, fuck, okay, I'm gonna go to this place. I'm just gonna cool down for a bit, so it's all right.
Does it get really cold in the winter?
Well, I mean, this winter it was like especially cold, but I mean, it wasn't that bad. Like, for me, it's easier to warm up than it is to cool down. So.
Yeah, this is true. It's a lot easier just to go to work in a sweater than it is to have to hang around in trousers and a shirt and then try and not be the sweatiest man alive. So the older buildings at my work I was referring to, when we had that really, really cold spell, some of them actually had to like shut down and send people home because it got too cold, and the heating just couldn't keep up.
Shit, man.
Yeah, when it was like that weird bit in February where it was just snowing constantly.
Everyone was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's not video games, though.
It's not, no. It is dynamic weather.
About video games.
It is dynamic weather, though, which is like seemed to be the big hype about
E3. Part of video games.
Yeah.
I believe that's part of that No Man's Sky update. That's the most recent thing I saw about dynamic weather.
Oh, really?
I think so. Maybe they've put dynamic weather in it, so it's not just like you land on a planet and then this is just the snow planet. It's like you land on a planet and it could have snow on it, but then it might start snowing and then it might stop snowing.
Shit, man. I haven't played like
dynamic weather.
I saw, yeah. So I heard you and Shaw talking about it on last week's podcast, and I've seen it now on Steam for what, like 20 quid.
Yeah, man.
And I'm just like, oh, I could get it. It would be great fun to like finally see what this game's all about. Like I played a bit of it on my brother's PS4. He's got the next update now, and he has been playing it a bit, but I don't know. I've still got like my reservations about that game, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, rightly so. My understanding is that they have improved it hugely, but it isn't a different game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Now I'm finished with Hyperlight Drifter. Yes, I have completed July's game of the month. Finally, it's so hard. It's so fucking difficult. Now I'm finished with Hyperlight Drifter. I want to get into No Man's Sky because it looks cool.
Yeah.
and I would like to see what that is about now that it's out. What's that PlayStation 4 version like? Because I've heard that the PlayStation 4 version is getting kind of short shrifted a bit, and like it's a few updates behind, and it doesn't run very well.
I mean, to be fair, mate,
I don't know
like
though.
me watching my brother, me walking up to my room and then seeing him sat there playing it, popping in for like 5 minutes and then walking out. I haven't really like the last time that I actually had my hands on that game and played it, I promptly was like, this is just not for me. Like this whole start, the whole start of that game, and like the way that it doesn't actually like give you any sort of direction on what to do or how to do it. Just, I don't know.
I think, yeah, I can appreciate that. I don't know. So my thing, I guess, because you played it relatively soon after it came out, right?
No, I didn't actually. Yeah, I
No? Oh,
I remember
okay,
like
sure.
talking about possibly getting it, and I was like, man, this is so hype. And then obviously like the whole fucking backlash that was like Steam reviews and just Reddit and just everything, article after article that you would like look up online was just so much hate for it. And I was just like, well, actually, maybe it's not the game that I actually need right now. So
Yeah. Yeah, that is fair. Well, yeah, so I think my understanding is like, I don't know. So I didn't expect it to be kind of what it was, and then a lot of the pre-release stuff came out with No Man's
yeah,
Sky, and everyone started saying, "Well, it's a survival game. It's Rust in space or whatever the fuck
yeah,
you want to call it." And that was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense to me about what that's going to be. And then it came out, and everyone was like, well, actually, it's a bit thin in this place. It doesn't have direction here and whatever. But hearing now that like at least apparently it's got like a main story that's like 15 hours long that's really good, and it's got a lot of other mechanics, and like hearing Sean Murray come out and say our goal now is that when you get 10 hours into this game you have so much that you could do that like it's almost overwhelming. And then hearing other people say, yeah, actually now the trick with No Man's Sky is once you get over the first couple of hours of just understanding like how to build fuel and all this other shit, is then it just gives you so much stuff to
yeah.
do that like the trick is not just to do one little thing, but just to kind of keep having a go at everything. I don't know. I'm curious to get into it. Like I said, now I've finished Hyperlight Drifter. My plan is to give a few hours to No Man's Sky and see what that's all about.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
could be cool. I don't know. It's got like weekly content updates and shit now. So
You see that
who
article
knows?
about
Maybe.
like someone built Sean Murray's face onto a planet? You see that because like they
Yeah.
introduce like the whole like sort of base building element to it. And I think
Yeah.
someone like took it way too far and just built Sean Murray's face onto a planet.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was really
Yeah.
cool. Just because it looks really weird as well. It looks like a little postage stamp like
Yeah.
JPEG that's just on the side of this
Yeah,
planet.
I mean, for someone to actually do that, like, I think it's fucking impressive. But I can't imagine how long it would have taken him to fucking do that.
Long, but it's interesting. It's cool. I'm into it. Okay. So No Man's Sky. We spoke at length about No Man's Sky last week, and I'm not necessarily sure with neither of us actually playing it. There's much more blood to pull out of that stone. However, Jack, you do have a fascinating news story for me that I think you were going to bring to the show last week, but we had some trouble, and Chor and I just last week's show was a fucking mess. Jack, tell me your news story.
So I can't remember when it was announced. I think it was like last weekend. It might have even been like maybe last Monday. But Xbox. So we all know about Xbox coming out with their new like accessible adaptive controller, which means that people who perhaps can't conventionally use one of the normal controllers to play video games are able to actually get involved with video games. And we've talked about it on the show before. So what they've done is they've released like a little sort of GIF of how it's going to be packaged. And the interesting thing about it is it's going to be going against all of like the Microsoft rules about packaging and how things should be safely packaged. And essentially what they're doing is they're making it so that people with these disabilities are able to open the packaging themselves and actually get that experience of, unboxing the controller for the first time, which I think is great. Like that, like I say, there is an animated GIF, and it's got like, so basically it's a box, and they've got like special kinds of tabs on it, which people who aren't perhaps able to use, they're like motor neuron muscles or that sort of movement to control their hands. They're able to now, use any part of their body essentially to open it. So the article that I'm reading says that, a lot of these limited mobility gamers are actually used to opening packages with their teeth. So this is specifically designed for people who, can't perhaps use any of the muscles that you would normally be expecting to use to open up video games and boxes and stuff. And Xbox are doing a really great thing and making it so that they can actually get that experience and share in what it feels like to finally unbox something, which I think is great. It's an absolutely amazing move. I mean, I think the controller itself is just a fantastic move. I know that, what is it? I think it said that it was like planned launch later this year.
Yes, that sounds right. Because it's been in development for fucking ages, hasn't it? Yeah, later this year it's coming out, but it's been in development for ages, and it seems like they've put so much care into it to like make it exactly what it needs to be, that it's such a pro fucking move.
I mean, like,
and like watching this GIF and seeing, as you said, it's like it's not. Microsoft actually tends to have very high quality packaging, but it tends to be based a lot on tabs that are like bits of cardboard that are forced into other grooves, and the whole thing's very tightly pulled together. And so to see this, and it's a lot of tabs with really big loops on and pulleys, and like everything seems to be almost together under its own mass. So like if you just grab one bit, the whole thing opens up quite nicely. It's really cool. Like it looks like you could, if you had reduced movement in your fingers, you could use your mouth or even like your feet. If you had missing digits, it looks like there's still ways to get into this packaging. It's such a pro fucking move on their part.
It specifically says that there are no annoying twist ties, no difficult to remove plastics or any hindrances, which means that people can open this controller as quickly and as smoothly as possible. So I mean, not only are they making the controller accessible, but the fact that they're having it so, they like you say, they could have released it and had all of this like really tight packaging and all of these fiddly like tabs and stuff, and it could be really, really hard to get out of the box like most of their packaging is. But to come out and say that and to let it be as quickly and as smoothly as possible for people to want to enjoy their video games is I think it's great. It says that it's launching with a price point of $99.99. I'm not sure how that would translate into UK pounds, but I mean, for something that you can like plug in different controllers into the back of it and sort of map your buttons manually so that you can personalize the controller to how you want to play. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's such a. When you see this and you see the incredible amount of work that Microsoft are putting into such a niche, innocuous thing, but if you actually think about what this product means, and then you think about how the Xbox One was launched, it's like two different companies.
Of course, man.
Like when you like the marketing pitch for the Xbox One is this it's a media device. It's going to be the center of your home. It's all about having the Kinect and watching films and buying movies from Microsoft and all this other stuff. And like games were almost second shrift to the Xbox One at launch being a media platform. And now to see them at the back half of the Xbox life, to have completely, and like, we've been talking about how they've made this shift as like it's for years, and it's been clear as E3 presentations have gone by, but to see them now at this point making what is such a, it's not only an incredible bit of technology, it's like looking at it and like you hear things like when people got to play it at E3 and like the different things people got to do with it, and like having like nunchucks and the mouth switches and all this other stuff that lets you use it the way you want to use it is incredible. But as a symbolic piece about what Microsoft stands for in the video game space, it's almost breathtaking the way that it actually represents Microsoft fully going, no, we're about playing video games. We want you to be able to play them the way you want to play them. It's going to be on Windows. It's going to be on the Xbox. You can use a gamepad. You can use a mouse and keyboard. You can use this adaptive controller. You can use Game Pass. You can use Xbox Live games with gold. You can buy physical games. You can buy it digitally. They've shifted their message back to being about video games in such a strong way, and I think this is just a really incredible representation of that in a way that is cool. I just think it's really fucking cool.
Yeah, man. Like, I see. The thing is as well is it's like not like I can guarantee you that people who like have these disabilities are not going to be the only people buying this controller, because there's going to be a fuck ton of people out there like you and me. I certainly want to like. I don't know if I'll buy it on launch, but I certainly want to like get my hands on one and just see what it feels like and how everything about it works. Because I feel like it's, again, one of those things like we say all the time, you know, gaming should be accessible to everyone. And this is certainly something that's going to make, you know, everyone get involved, and even people who, like I say, who don't have disabilities are going to want to get involved and play with this controller, see how it works. And yeah, hopefully it will bring, you know, a hell of a lot of more people into the gaming community that weren't perhaps able to do so in the past.
I fucking hope so, man. I fucking hope so. I think that if it gets enough players who were unable to do so to be able to now pick up their Xbox and play so many, and like it pairs so well with their backwards compatibility thing as well, because the idea that now you could get an Xbox and this adaptive controller and whatever set of adaptive button, and like obviously it's not as simple as you get this, because there are, my understanding is, some quite expensive other bits you may need to make it do what you need it to do. But it now gives you an in, and now you can say, well, I can now play with this. I could be somebody with reduced movement in my hands who needs this kind of adaptive controller, and now I can get an Xbox and this and play every single Xbox One game, and basically all the third-party games from this generation. I can play basically all the best third-party games from the last generation that are backwards compatible, and all the best 360 exclusives, of which there are actually a fair few. And also, in a bizarre twist, just like a grip of original Xbox titles as well. Yeah, well, obviously, like this adaptive controller just takes the place of a controller, and the original and the Xbox One has backwards compatibility all the way back to the original Xbox. So it opens up, like, give or take, fucking 10, 15 years of video games to people. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, it's such an ingenious idea from Microsoft. So, you know, credit to them. Like I say, I really just want to like get my hands on one and see what it feels like and see how it plays, because it just seems like such an interesting concept.
Yeah, it really does. I guess the thing is, it's one of those. Here we go. It's launching it in September. It's just one of those things where there is a financial. There is a reasonable financial outlay to this, but my understanding is that's nothing new for this kind of technology. And my understanding is the revolutionary part of this is not necessarily that Microsoft have made some cheap catch-all. It's that they've made a cheap way to now have all of those other solutions interface into the Microsoft system seamlessly. It's kind of the impression that I've got from, because like when this was announced, you then saw a lot of people coming up in comment sections and stuff talking about their own disabilities and their own stories, and going, well, actually, yeah, you know, it's $100 for this, but you know, if you need the switch that you blow into to make one thing happen, well, that's another $50, and if you need this thing, that's another $80, and all this other stuff. So there's a financial outlay to this that is quite a lot, but I think its significance is just that it's an into that ecosystem that wasn't there before.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. I don't know what else to say about it, really, other than just I think it's rad. Actually, you know what I do have to say? Because I didn't think I had any news, and now it looks like I've got 2 bits of Valve news. Hang on, man. 2 bits of Valve news.
Hit me.
There's a release date for Artifact, the Dota 2 card game.
Really? Okay.
Yes. It will be out in November the 28th.
I mean, like I've not been like, again. I don't think I would be massively into Dota. I don't think that's like something that would really like spike my interest. But card games, however, I think that, like, you know, I could dig some of that. I mean, yeah, like that. It would be cool. It would be cool to see how they do it. I mean, what they announced it, what, like, not this E3 but last E3, was it? They said that they were working on something.
I don't even think it was an E3, was it? They announced it at the International. They announced it last year at the International. They tend not to go to E3, do they? But I think it was. They were like, now we've got a brand new game announcement from Valve, and they walk up, and the screen moves, and you hear the entire crowd going like, and then it says Artifact, the Dota 2 card game, and the entire crowd, this huge stadium in unison, goes.
There's just like, there's an exacerbated sigh from everyone. Just, oh man, what the hell, man? Come on, card games, seriously, Valve, fuck's sake.
It's fucking hilarious.
But like,
man.
So my limited understanding of what Dota 2 is about is you have, like, I don't know, what is it? You have like 3 lanes that you can attack through, and they said something similar to like, you in Dota 2 you have 3 lanes, and then in this card game you also have 3 lanes that you can attack through. And I was like, I don't know how that's going to work in a card game. I don't know. I mean, this screenshot that I'm looking at the moment doesn't look as if there's any kind of lanes or anything. But I don't know, like.
So, the way it works is, I'm guessing you've got a screenshot that just looks like almost like a fucking Hearthstone or Gwent.
Yeah, just your typical.
So there's actually also you play 3 of those at once.
What?
Yeah, so hang on, let me send you this article. If you scroll down, this is terrible. This is a PC Gamer running an Artifact. Excuse me. PC Gamer are running a "Here's everything we know about Artifact" article.
Shit.
And if you go through that, if there's a point where you get down and it shows you that actually you play 3 boards at once.
What, like simultaneously, or is it like one board then the next board then the next board? Like.
I couldn't tell you, but yeah, if you scroll down, you can see a screenshot of it, and it's like if you double click just the playing board, it zooms out and you see all 3 boards, and I imagine they can affect each other just like in Dota, and there'll be a push and pull on it, I guess, and it'll be like, we got to push.
Yeah, I suppose that, because if that's simultaneous, like. I imagine that if they're trying to make it as close as possible to Dota, then it would be like simultaneous play, where you've got to try and make sure that you're keeping an eye on all 3 boards all at once. And if you see like one board getting completely dominated, you need to like switch over to that one and try and get some of your guys down onto that board. But that seems like there's a whole other fucking level to that, man.
Yeah. Jesus. I mean, I guess it's going to be $20 when it comes out, with more than 280 cards, and you can trade cards on the Steam store.
Man, that's gonna go so badly.
Yeah, I guess it looks. I don't know. It looks interesting, at least. It looks like Valve are trying to do something different in the digital trading card game space.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously inevitably, like, it says that it's going to steer away from pay to win. I assume that it's going to have, like, you can buy your own packs and stuff on it. I'm assuming that that's going to be a thing because, you know, microtransactions are, like, basically Valve's main thing. I don't know. I mean, I did, like, so after hearing you and Chaw talk or mention Gwent last week in the show, I did, like, hop onto Gwent, and man, that game's changed. I mean, it's still Gwent. It's just it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like all of the cards and the systems and stuff in it. It's just I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to get myself back into it because I liked it when it was in the closed beta, and now it's on the open beta, and like this, I don't know. I haven't really heard like much about it. I've sort of gone off the hype that I was on probably about like a year ago now. But I don't know. Yeah, I'll
So okay. So tell me more about Gwent then, because I haven't seen much about what is happening in Gwent for a while.
I mean, it's like
So what's going on in
it's
Gwent at
just
the
like
moment?
they. So I don't think it's like a monthly thing. I think it's like at each different points in the year. There are like different sort of just events going on. They've also introduced Gwent Arena, which what I believe it is I believe it's like a sort of draft mode with cards. So you get like 25 cards to choose from, but like each one so you have to have, or the minimum amount of cards you can have in your deck is like 25.
Okay.
And I think that I can't remember what the exact number is, but basically you get like a series of, like, I guess not card openings, but it will present you with like 3 cards at a time, and then you basically just have to pick one of those cards and build a deck from like 25, 30 cards that you get to pick from. So I haven't actually played any of the Gwent Arena. I mean, I really only just got back into playing it like a few days ago. Um, they've still got their microtransaction stuff. You know, like the Gwent community on Reddit is still very much loving the game. The developers from CDPR, their like Gwent team are still very much like fully behind it and getting interactive with all of the people on social media. They they do acknowledge the feedback that they're getting and try to make improvements to the game. I know, so quite a while back now, I think it must have been about a year ago, I remember one of the people that I used to watch play it, he was commenting, and a lot of people online as well were commenting on there was a post on the CDPR website, and essentially what they were looking for was a mobile game developer. And so a lot of people were getting hyped about Gwent coming to mobile, and I think that that's still something that's in the works. And I'd absolutely love to see it because you've got so many other games like Hearthstone and Elder Scrolls Legends that are on mobile that you can play. So I feel like it's the right move from CDPR to try and get it onto mobile. And I also feel like I'd probably be more inclined to play it if I could get it onto the Switch. If they somehow work their way into like a handheld market and get it onto the Switch, because I don't know how difficult it would be to port onto the Switch, but I feel like it would play well, especially the Switch has touchscreen, so it is basically, if you're going to make it for a mobile phone, why not make it for the Switch? It's basically just got a bigger screen and it's can do so much, or it's got, like, I imagine it's got probably a better graphics than it would have on the mobile as well. So I feel like that is an option that they could go down. But yeah, I mean it's still very much the same Gwent. I don't think so previously the cards were like locked to rows. So you had your like melee row, you had your art like your ranged row, and then you had your siege row. And some cards used to be locked to the different rows. And I think that most, if not all, of the cards now can be placed on any of the rows, so you don't have to worry about like dodging, or you don't have to worry about like playing some of your cards into the weather, which used to be again row locked. Now I'm pretty sure that
Ooh,
weather can be played on any row. Yeah, I
okay.
mean, yeah, it's like I say, I haven't really been keeping up to date with it. Yeah, I did hop on and play a bit of it a few days ago, but yeah, I mean, people still seem to be playing that game. They often do have their Gwent Open tournaments and stuff like that, and people still do watch it and play it. It's got a good amount of players on it, so yeah, I mean, it's doing okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I guess it sounds like they were doing. I think anybody who thought that Gwent, the game, as a standalone game, was going to be just vanilla Gwent from The Witcher 3, but with more cards in a competitive sense. I think that was naive to think that, and it seems like, especially since that game was so broken, and it was possible with the right deck in that game to just fucking curb stomp people, getting like 200 points to 2 and shit like that. And I think it would be really. I think it sounds to me like CD Projekt Red are doing a really great job in making Gwent an actual game now, as opposed to just a mini game. They're turning it into an actual, and it seems like what you're saying about them changing how you play cards and how weather effects work and that kind of stuff is them slowly shifting it into more of like a robust video game, right? Does that sound fair? Yes, I think that's cool. And I think on top of that, if they're doing a lot of community engagement and fostering a really positive community that has a lot of engagement with players and like developers alike, then I think they're clearly carving out their own like corner of the trading card market, and it's going, nope, these 20% of people who want to play a trading card game are now going to exclusively play Gwent, and they're never going to stop because they like what we do and we've become good friends with them. And it sounds like that's kind of what their whole thing is going to be, which is good for them,
I mean,
right? Like
and they're still working on that single player part of the game, which is scheduled to come out in 2018. I'm not. All of the reports that I've been reading has just said, coming 2018 still. I don't think we've actually got a defined, definite date for it yet. I might be wrong because, the last thing I read up about it was a good couple of months ago now. But I mean, that's something that they've been teasing for quite some time, and I think that like a lot of people are still excited and are waiting to see what direction they go with it. I mean, that one clip that we've really the only one clip that we've seen from it is like that sort of, I don't know, that like that like corner in the sort of top down but to an angle sort of view of you running around as Geralt, just battling other people, and instead of actually battling them, you just fight them with a game of Gwent, which seems quite cool. And it means I think they are going to be introducing some exclusive single player cards that you can only get via completing some of the challenges in the single player, which is again a sort of added incentive to play that single player. So I'm looking forward to it. When it does come out, I'll probably hop on it and play some of it. But yeah, I mean, they're CDPR have always been, that sort of team that know, or at least this team specifically. So even since the closed beta launched back in September 2016, I think was when it launched. Even back then, they were still very much trying to engage with people and trying to get everyone's feedback and make sure that the community was as friendly as possible and as welcoming as possible. And really, they really seem to do what communities are about in video games really, really well. So.
Yeah, I mean that kind of community engagement and understanding the games and their customers is like that's CDPR's like bread and butter, isn't it? Right? Like if you look at that company was founded on some people like fucking pirating games in Poland because Poland didn't get many video games and also had like barely any copyright law. So they were just like, well, if we just crack all these Western games and we'll sell them off to our friends, and then eventually started doing it like legally and just importing games. And like CDPR has always been about trying to bring like people together to play games that they want to play. Like that was them from the beginning, and like that's always been from them, from their huge free overhauls to The Witcher and The Witcher 2 in the enhanced editions, and The Witcher 3 having its like 12 weeks of free content, and GOG having no DRM and all this other stuff. Like it's CDPR's whole thing is let's do something nice for the community, and people will respond to that and want to be involved in our community. So it sounds like they're doing the right thing with Gwent, and it's not coming out as some like half-baked, let's just rip off Hearthstone and we'll move on with our days. It seems like they're actually trying to foster a really sweet community. And I forgot until you said it just then that they were making a single player for that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think they announced it, and we've got our first look at it. I say first look, it was like that little 30-second clip of it. They announced that like I'd like to say it's about a year ago. But yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything about it since, really. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I imagine they're still working on it, and it's still something that they are. And I feel like a lot of people are really looking forward to it. I am. I'd like to see what kind of direction they take it in. But yeah, it's good to see game developers listening to the people that play their game, because quite often nowadays you see game developers, it's basically my way or the highway, and if you don't like it, then you can go and play some other game. So
Yeah, dude. Like there is a level of community engagement there that is commendable for sure. So actually, so the other bit of Valve news I had, and it kind of links back into it because there are rumors that it's to do with Artifact.
okay.
Is Jay Pinkerton has returned to Valve. I don't know if you are aware of who Jay Pinkerton is.
Not really. I can't say. Is he? I think I recognize the name. I wouldn't be able to tell you what he's worked on, but
So Valve, they started off when Valve started as a company. They hired in science fiction writer Mark Laidlaw, who wrote basically all of Half-Life. And he did a lot of the story plots and also. But Mark Laidlaw ended up leaving, and after Mark Laidlaw left, two other. So while Valve was then working as a company, and they had Mark Laidlaw doing Half-Life, they hired two other very well-known writers from the industry called Eric Walpole and Chet Balizek. I don't really know how to pronounce his last name, but they were writers who had done a lot of games journalism and like reviews and that kind of thing. And they came in, and those two did a lot of like Left 4 Dead and Portal and Team Fortress and these other bits of writing. And they also hired a guy called Jay Pinkerton. And so for a while, there was this kind of, obviously Valve had more writers than those four, but there was this kind of weird cult of personality around like the big four of these writers, and it came to the forefront when the writers started leaving Valve. So Mark Laidlaw left, and Eric Walpole left, and Chet Falizek left, and Jay Pinkerton left, and so there was this. This was near the beginning of last year, and for like the year before that, they had all these writers leaving, and it was kind of there was like the big four. It was Mark Laidlaw and Chet and Eric and Jay. And like Mark Laidlaw has gone on to sort of, he did his whole like Epistle 3 thing, and was putting out like fan fiction that was actually the plot to Half-Life 3, because Half-Life 3 is never getting fucking made, and like all this other weird shit that was going on around these writers leaving. It was quite publicised. People were going, well, if the big four writers at Valve, who are credited with doing a lot of the real weight of the writing behind Portal, Left 4 Dead, Team Fortress, have all gone, what the fuck is Valve? Are Valve even making video games or writing anymore? And Jay Pinkerton's come back. So Jay Pinkerton he is back on the Valve employee list as a writer, which is cool.
Yeah, man.
It lines up with within the last couple of weeks, Valve has come out saying, "Oh, we want to get back to making video games, whatever the fuck that means." And that could just be Artifact, and it could just be Jay Pinkerton coming in to write fucking card descriptions. But I don't know. I'm not naive enough to think that, well, Jay Pinkerton's back and Valve wants to make video games again, so I'm going to get a Half-Life 3. That's not going to happen. But on the other hand, I am a huge fan of Half-Life and Portal and Left 4 Dead, and obviously, like, Portal wasn't an original Valve idea. Neither was Left 4 Dead. But like, if Valve could make a new IP, if Valve actually came out and made something cool and brought their talents to the forefront, I'd be happy with that. You know, and even if the thing they make is them finding a really cool mod within the community much like with Portal or Portal was like a tech demo kind of thing. But if them finding something interesting from within the community and turning it into a full game, I'm happy with that. Like if they find their own Narbacular drop and turn it into another Portal, that's cool. But the fact that Jay Pinkerton is back on the scene is significant in some way, I think.
I mean, like, what was like the last thing that Valve officially like as an IP? What was their last like real big game that they released?
As the last big game they released, or the last IP they produced?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Okay, well, because the last big game they put out, I believe, is Dota 2.
And when did that came out? What, like early
2012?
I was going to say 2011. Yeah, okay.
Let's have a look at this list of releases. Okay, so this list of releases has got some. So Artifact isn't out yet. Okay, so they did that tech demo for the Vive called the Lab, and that the Lab, the room scale virtual reality thing, that was the last thing they officially released. Before that, there was a number of. It's like a Counter-Strike Online, Counter-Strike Nexon, and Left 4 Dead Survivors, which are all like Asia market only, I think, that they didn't even develop, but just used their IP.
Yeah.
And then it was Dota 2 in 2013.
Yeah, like, that's...
So
they need something new, man.
Yeah, they don't... And it's worth noting that if you go back through their list of games that they've released, the only intellectual property that they have actually made themselves and produced is Half-Life.
Yeah. Which came out fucking ages
Team Fortress
ago.
was a mod. Yeah, like Team Fortress was a mod, Counter-Strike was a mod, Ricochet was a mod, Day of Defeat was a mod, Counter-Strike still a mod, Gary's mod, obviously a mod, Portal a mod, Left 4 Dead was a mod, Dota is the sequel to a mod.
That's bizarre, man.
It's this insane thing where the only actual like video game they've made themselves is Half-Life, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that necessarily, because they've demonstrated a talent at finding things like Portal and Team Fortress and Left 4 Dead within the community and turning those into the games they need to be to become the like instant classic that they were. But also, like, let's ignore Valve harvesting the mod scene. Let's ignore wanting a sequel to Half-Life. What if Valve actually just came out and said, we're just going to make a new IP?
I think that like it certainly feels like that's what they need to, I guess, try and get people back on side. Like, try and get people believing in Valve again, and stop the chatter about Half-Life 3, and try and get people away from it, and just be like, look, we're not making it. We're working on something new. This is going to be totally awesome. We've got one of our good writers back now. He's going to be working, his fucking arse off to try and get us something that's going to be awesome. And yeah, let's move forward, and I guess like start a new chapter in Valve's life, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that would be the way to do it, wouldn't it? I didn't even think of that, but you make a good point. Like the way to do it, the way to get everyone to finally get off the like Half-Life 3 confirmed case would be for them to actually make something good and awesome and new. And for them not just to be like, well, here's the Dota 2 card game, just to be like, no, here is actually, we have a huge talented team of developers and writers and all these other people, and we're putting out a video game that you can play. And that would be, more than anything, that would be the thing that gets people to stop talking shit, I guess. I don't know. I think that'd be really cool. Just, who knows what them saying, we actually want to get back to making games, actually means. It could literally just be them continuing to fucking pontificate about their card games and expansions and all that other stuff. But
I don't know.
Maybe it
should be alright. I've got one last bit of news, I guess. So,
what you got?
We all know what Ocarina of Time, the Legend of Zelda, I guess, classic, I guess you could call it.
There are some people who would say it's the best one of those games.
It's certainly a good one to, you know, I don't know if it's like the best one to start with, but it's a great game to like get down and play if you have the time.
There are. I would even dare say there are some people who would say that it is the very finest video game ever made.
It's one of those people, you, Mark.
Nah, mate, Half-Life till I die.
But yeah, so anyway, that game, I can't quite remember when it was released. You might have a bit more knowledge about the background of it, but essentially some video game like player has beaten the speed run for 100%ing that game, and his name is ZFG111. I think it's
ZFG. Okay, so for a little bit, I actually kind of knew some of the big names in Zelda speedrunning, but I don't know this name, and that could be because I wasn't looking at 100% speedruns. Because 100% speedruns are fucking crazy.
Yeah, and so this guy astonishingly completed the Ocarina of Time in 3 hours, 58 minutes and 45 seconds, and he did it on August the 1st, and when he found out that he had completed it in less than 4 hours, his 3 words that he said were, sub 4, cool. And he just sort of like shrugged it off so nonchalantly, like, yeah, I can do that in my sleep. And I was like, fuck, dude, you've completed an entire game 100% in less than 4 hours. Like, fucking, if I did that, I'd be losing my shit.
And beat the world record by like 2 minutes.
It's fucking insane. Like, it's just.
And like 100% is what? Every heart piece, every gold skulltula, like all the swords, all the bottles. Like, there's a lot to do in that game.
Yeah, it's a fucking.
If you are trying to do everything.
Deep game, man. Like, I imagine like the any percent speed runs are fairly quick. But to go through it and like meticulous, or I guess like going into it, he must have known like exactly what he was going to do and where he was going to find everything. But to meticulously like go through it and to have that level of knowledge of knowing just exactly where everything is and how is the best way to get to it to cut out the most time from your speedrun, it's just fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, it's wild. It's really wild. I don't know. Like, do you follow speedruns much? Do you look at like awesome games done quick and some games done quick?
So I can't. It must have been like a few months. I think it was about like March, April time. You know how you can get like if you just start watching random videos on YouTube and then it comes up on like your recommended list and it will come up like, oh, speedrunner this, speedrunner that. I started watching like people do Mario Kart speedruns and all of that sort of Mario Kart 64 where you could like fucking glitch off the side of the map and just do a lap in like less than a second. I started watching that and then it got to a point I can't remember what other ones I was watching, but it got to a point where the autoplay just rolled over and I ended up watching someone speedrun Wii Golf. And I was like, shit,
wild.
Like, what the fuck am I doing in my life? And then I immediately like just stopped watching it. I was like, nah, I can't just be laying on my bed watching people fucking speedrun a game that like, how the fuck do you speedrun? Like, that's just speedrunning golf, man. What the fuck?
That is actually fucking wild. Speedrunning Wii Golf. That's really cool.
Like, and like the guy doesn't even stand up to do it. He's just sat there and he just has like the controller in his hand and he knows exactly like how far to flick his wrist. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's I quite like a lot of the speedrun stuff, and I do like it when, as you were saying, with like the Mario Kart 64. I like it when it's a speedrun where some really wild shit happens and it glitches out.
It's like
that was always the thing about the Ocarina of Time, not 100% speedrun.
yeah.
That's like 10 minutes or something crazy. It's like you get through the opening area and you get into the Great Deku Tree, and I think it's in the Queen Goma boss room. There's like a wall where if you backflip into it and like hit A at just the right point and like you glitch into a scene, then it teleports you directly to the end of the game.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then you fight Ganon and win. It's fucking wild. Like the actual way that it works is really, really crazy, because it is literally like at the very beginning of the game, and then you glitch, and then you're there. You're there in the very, very final area. It's cool.
Is it
really cool.
Is it Mario 64 where you can do the whole like backwards jumping onto stairs and then you go fucking infinitely fast up the stairs and then into some weird shit? Is that what I'm talking about? Is that what I think it is? Is that the stair glitch?
I think that's the way that you get up the It's like there's the bits in Mario 64 where you can't get up the staircase until you have enough stars. You have to get 70 stars to get up the staircase to wherever, I think it's 70 or 60 maybe. And it's like the way that works in the game is like a little bit of trickery about like speed and the corridor and shit. And yeah, I think the way to do it in the speedrun is like you long jump backwards up it. And so there's a thing with Mario. I recommend anybody listen to this, all three people who listen to this, to go and watch, let me just get his name from my YouTube subs, to go and watch Panen Koek 2012's half A-Press video, which you might have heard of. It's pretty famous. It comes up every now and then. It became kind of a meme because it's so fucking mental. But it's Super Mario 64, watch for Rolling Rocks, 0.5 A-presses commentated, and so there's a Super Mario 64 speedrun community that is not about doing it as quickly as possible, but about doing the game in the least possible A-presses. Obviously, A is jump.
Yeah.
And so he gets into this idea of a half A-press. So the way that the game registers you pressing A is it registers you press down, and that's half the signal, but then it won't completely A-press until you let go. So obviously, if you're just tapping the button, that's an A-press. But if you press and hold, it will do something. Like I think it will like trigger some parts of physics, but not others, or something mental. It's been a while since I've watched it. But he gets into the way that the physics engine and the map engine in Mario 64 works, and how you can glitch it out to get it to do some really crazy shit. And it's the one where it's like, but first, before we talk about this, we need to talk about parallel universes. Comes from. You might have seen that. That's like a pretty big meme all over Reddit. It's just this idea that in Super Mario 64, the world geometry, but not the actual art, is copied infinitely in every direction through space. So it's this idea that what you have to do to get the kind of wild speedrunning shit you need to do in this game, or not even speedrunning, the crazy half A-press shit, is like you can get up enough speed, my point is that this is a roundabout way to get my point here, is like the way Mario 64 does speed is like if you can get yourself into a position where you're falling but you're not actually moving, like he gains speed at like a really crazy rate.
Yeah.
So part of the speedrunning trick for like the half A-press thing is you gain speed to like you're going like 10 times faster than the speed of light, and you can like launch yourself into like world geometry, like 4 worlds over or something fucking wild like that. But yeah, It's you should definitely fucking watch it. It's a really cool video.
Yeah,
but
like, it's always fascinating to see, like,
I'll put it there in the chat. But
it's always fascinating to
yes,
see.
my point was, yeah, you can get up those stairs by like doing a crazy jump that makes you get enough speed. I think that like you launch yourself up the stairs and you skip out, having to get 60 stars. It's speedrunners are crazy, especially in the older games where they break.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
easily.
like I was gonna say, like, it's always fascinating to see how people like start off playing a game and then they figure something out and then they actually like really get good at it and they come up with like different ways to do it, and just seeing like how all of yeah, like you said, I guess with like the older games, like the mechanics aren't as refined as some of the more recent games, but it's always good to see like people exploit these different like not even incomplete things, just like stuff that hasn't like been or probably wasn't thought about at the time, and just see them how they exploit it. It's just insane. That's fucking just, it's ridiculous to see how people do it as well.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love watching those speedruns. They're way good, especially when it's a game that you yourself think you know. Like I've watched speedruns for Ratchet and Clank and Half-Life, and both of them I was just like, oh shit, I thought I knew this game, but I definitely do not fucking know this game. Whoa. I got one last bit of news, very quick one before we leave, because we're getting close to the hour here. Have you seen this shit about Spyro Reignited trilogy?
So I think I know what you're talking about. I saw one article about it, but I don't know if it's what you're going to say, but yeah.
So the Spyro Reignited trilogy is the upcoming, due to be released on September 21st, remaster of Spyro 2, Ripto's Revenge, and Spyro Year of the Dragon, the PlayStation 1 trilogy of Spyro games, which I'm very fond of. Spyro Year of the Dragon. Man. I didn't really play the first two, but I remember really liking that third one. But the thing about it, which is wild, is on this Blu-ray disc for this remaster, when you go and buy the disc in the store, you only get the remaster of Spyro 1, and you have to download Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage and Spyro Year of the Dragon once you get the game to actually play them.
Yeah,
it's free of charge, but you have to download them.
I did see this article. You'd think that they would just put it out on like free, or they'd either like, is the game really that big that they can't like fit them all onto one disc, or is it like if it was,
it can't, I was gonna say,
there's no way that they'll fill an entire Blu-ray disc with just one game. Like, either if it was, and if they went really fucking ridiculously over, like if they went over the top on all of the remastering with it, which I feel like a lot of people would appreciate it, and it would take up a bit more space. But if they were going to do it, then surely you just put it on 3 different discs. Like, it just seems like so much hassle.
Yeah, it cannot be that it is a size issue. I think it must just be they didn't get it finished in time, right?
I guess. Like, what else could it be?
Yeah, like otherwise I just don't understand what the fuck is even going on. It must just be that they didn't get it finished in time, and in the time from now until September, they're going to be doing the finishing touches in whatever way to Spyro 2 and 3, and they've got Spyro 1 done, and that's got burnt onto the disc. Like, discs obviously have to get made, and it's coming out in a month, so whatever, but it's really fucking crazy to me that can happen at all. I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting and that's just video games now, but it just seems fucking wild that you can release a trilogy and 2 of the games aren't on the disc.
It's not really like mis-selling, because you can still technically get the other 2 games for it, but it does seem like you're misleading people into believing, oh look, you can play all 3 games as soon as you get the disc, and it's like, well, you can play one game and then you have to like wait for these other 2 to download. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to what they do with it, because like you said, like Spyro back in the day, on like I still think I think I had one of the 3 games on the PS1. I can't remember which one, but yeah, man, Spyro is fucking cool.
Spyro is fucking cool. I don't know. I wonder how this will go. I didn't play the Crash remaster, but also I don't really care about Crash Bandicoot. Is that an unpopular
I
opinion?
don't know.
I don't give a shit about Crash Bandicoot.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, like I liked Crash Team Racing. Is that what it was called?
That is what it was called. Crash
I
Team
like
Racing.
that. I can't say I think that like probably, as you can imagine, like that sort of the Crash Bandicoot like temple run thing where you're running backwards and you're seeing this boulder running behind you and you can't actually see what's coming ahead of you. You can imagine someone like me getting really pissed off with a game like that. So I think that's probably why I didn't like enjoy it as much. But I don't know.
Spyro though. Spyro's pretty sick.
Spyro's fucking awesome.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm spent. This has been a solid hour. We got. I did not expect us to get even 20 minutes.
I was going to say I'm surprised.
It's only been a few days since the last episode, but I think the last episode might have been a bit.
I'm fairly surprised and like actually kind of like proud at how well we did.
Fuck yeah, man! We found some of that hashtag content.
Yeah, boy.
Right. Well, Jack, thanks for coming and talking to me.
No worries, man. It's been a pleasure as always.
As always, it has been a pleasure. This has been Shouting Over the News, the weekly news show from Shouting Over Static, a video game show and tell podcast. Our game of the month, which is kind of our main thing, the thing where we actually kind of discuss the real shit, is Hyper Light Drifter. July's been a really busy month for everybody. Yep. And August, a lot of people are on holiday for a big chunk of it. So it looks like what's probably going to happen is we won't talk about Hyper Light Drifter till people get back, basically, from holiday in August. I think that looks like how it's going to go. I finally finished it yesterday. Dylan finished it a while ago.
God damn it.
But that's how Dylan do, I guess. Chaw, I think, has done like one boss. So Chaw's really behind. But I don't think Chaw... I think Chaw will get it sorted out. We'll see. Either way, I'd be very surprised if we spoke about it before the end of August at this point.
Okay. That's cool.
So get ready for another month of us just kind of talking about
I mean, at least I'll be back from holiday to like then hopefully complete it. Like I think I'm fairly close to the end. I was telling you before we started recording that the final bit of that game is really fucking frustrating, but you know, I should be able to like knuckle down and hopefully get it finished.
Yeah, there is. I think if you're in the southern area, there's not much left of the game. I think from the southern area to ending it took me maybe a couple of hours.
Fair. I mean,
because those fights are pretty hard, but there's not a huge amount of content.
Yeah. I just need to like stick at it, I guess. Like you again, Mark, you know me. You know how frustrated I get at fucking video games.
Yeah, I mean, mate. So it took me 7 hours. Yeah, dude, I exactly know you because I also got really frustrated at this game, and at points was just like sitting there, like gripping the controller, like screaming in frustration. It's fucking hard.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's hard as shit. However, it's pretty good. I don't know. Shit, I've got conflicted feelings on it that we will discuss when we get to that episode. However, until then, if you found this on iTunes, well, look it up on YouTube and SoundCloud. If you found this on SoundCloud, look it up on iTunes and YouTube. If you found it on YouTube, no, if you found it on iTunes. Wait, which one did I say?
There is also
fuck that up.
There's like Google and like launched their new like podcast app. There's like a Google podcast
really?
thing, and we're on that because that's how I listened to the last episode of this. So yeah, but if you've got a phone with Android and you've got Google on it, or I don't know, I don't think it's like a Pixel exclusive thing. I feel like it's just on the Android store. It might be Pixel exclusive, but yeah, go listen to us on like Google Podcasts.
Find us on the internet. We're free. There's a Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
Do what needs to be done to enjoy us on the internet. Jack, thank you so much. It's been a
No worries,
pleasure.
man. See you when I get back from holiday.
Have a good holiday, bro.
Bye.
Bye.